Hello friends, welcome to the new video. Today we will be seeing the continuation of the scenario questions. In last video uh, we have discussed about the sample paper from the NEBOSH, right? So what I'm planning to do is, like, most of our subscribers have requested for a video where further scenario based questions shall be discussed. But as of there is no other official questions from NEBOSH rather than the sample paper. We can't predict what kind of questions will be coming in the exam, and there is no textbook, there is no other materials in the internet. Even you can say the learning partners, everyone, they have to depend on the first exam, which is going to happen in August. I think it is in August 6th, right? The first date. So after August, after the first exam only, we can predict how will be the trend of the future exams. So before that, we have to make sure that we follow the course book. We are thorough with all the concepts. So today we will be going to see some questions which I can't guarantee that you can expect these questions, but I will give you an idea, and you have to check how you can put your concepts and your theories, what you learned from the course, into these questions. So friends, like NEBOSH, it is not possible to give or write down a very big scenario based questions in the YouTube, right? So what I'm going to do is, I will explain, or I will present you small scenarios, and from these scenarios we will work out the questions, and you can practice accordingly. So make sure that you listen to the video very carefully from beginning to end, because the scenario which I will be going to explain will be only in audio. Then we will be going into deep, or we will be going to see the tasks which are associated with this scenario. So for the task questions, I will be writing down these task questions on the screen, so you can easily understand it. And for the Hindi speakers, I would say this video is in very simple English. There is no jargons, there is no technical words, so you can please listen it again and again, and you can understand the concepts, because anyway the exam format is in English, right? The medium is English, so it is very important you have to understand the concepts in English only. So if any doubt is there, further doubts are there, please let me know on my email. I will be there. I can explain to you if you have any doubts in understanding the questions, or in communication part. So we will be continuing the same scenario which NEBOSH has given in the last sample paper, right? You remember, you have took a charge of a company as a safety, and you found the contract manager and the operation manager were there, and the people, 10-20 staffs were there, and there were no safety culture. There was no proper safety culture in the company, and the management was also not committed to safety principles, health and safety, right? So we will continue that scenario, so it will be very easy for you. And what I will do is, I will make another scenario, or I will present you in another condition, and in that condition I will place some tasks. So now you have conducted a first health and safety committee meeting with your management, right, in your company, and you have started to work in that company, and now the next meeting is about to come. And before the next meeting comes, you wanted to discuss about some key points in the next meeting, which includes the rise in number of accidents in the workplace, the presence of hazards, the failure of proper inspections done in the site, no monitoring of health and safety performance, and lots of complaints related to workplace, like the equipment failure, the equipments are not properly starting up, the leakages, the presence of hazardous substances, right? So you wanted to discuss all these issues in your next meeting. So the next meeting came up, and in the next meeting you have strongly presented your points to your health and safety committee members that there is no proper health and safety performances in our company. I mean, in your company, there is no proper health and safety inspections are going out in the company. There are no steps taken to make sure that regular inspections are done. There are no monitoring of health and safety performances in the company. So this will be the small scenario, and we will be going to see what all questions which you can get in the different tasks, right? Based on task, what all questions you can expect. So now we'll be seeing the first task. You have decided to inform the management about the various monitoring methods which you can implement or which can help the organization to monitor their health and safety performance. Explain the various monitoring methods and list out the examples to the management. So very simple question. This is how they used to ask. So you have to think what are the different monitoring methods and you have to list out. They have asked, right? List out. So it will vary in the exam. I'm not saying they will ask you always like to define the monitoring methods, or they may always ask you list out, but what I'm trying to say is this is how they used to ask the questions. So they have asked what are the monitoring methods available and you have to list out. So based on the mark you have to write the answers. As you know what to write for this question, so it won't be a big problem for you. So you have to write there are two monitoring methods which can be implemented. You have to inform to, I mean, you have to inform to your committee members, right? So you will be saying the proactive monitoring, which monitors the achievements of plans and the degree of compliance with standards before any accident, incident, or ill health happens in the site. The second, you can say the reactive monitoring, which monitors after any accident, ill health, and incidents occurs in your site. So these are the monitoring methods. Now they have asked for the list out. So you have to give the examples to the safety committee members so that they can understand, right? So you have to write examples for proactive monitoring, you have to write, and you have to write for the active one. So it will vary. Maybe in exam they can ask you for the list out 4, list out 8, or sometimes they won't ask you any number. So you can you can give some examples based on the mark. For example, you can say the safety inspections, the surveys, audits, sampling, environmental monitoring, health surveillance, behavioral observations, such as by carrying out safety observations, tours, benchmarking against the performance of other organizations. They are the examples for the active or the proactive monitoring. Now we will be seeing the reactive monitoring methods, which you can include like accident and ill health statistics and reports in a company, the incidents of reported near misses, dangerous occurrences, property damages, actions taken by the enforcement agencies in the company, the number of civil claims, the lost time injuries, the absentees from the site. So these are the examples which you can put in front of the health and safety committee to explain them about the various monitoring methods and how to monitor. So guys, now in task 2 we will see the another question. So now in the previous task 1 we have seen you have explained to your health and safety committee members about the monitoring methods which can help your organization to improve the health and safety performance, right? Now you said, I mean, they were very much happy with your methods, with your recommendations. Then you also pointed out to health and safety members that the safety inspection plays a very important role, and in our site the health and safety inspection is not there. Now here also, friends, you can expect some incidents mentioned by the NEBOSH. For example, the NEBOSH may say, like, in your site there was an accident happened during the lifting process. During the lifting process, the web sling was not in good condition, and it break down, and then accident happened in the site. So considering this incident, you have to speak in front of your health and safety committee members, right? So you have to point out to them this kind of accident happened. So as you said, there is no proper safety inspections are not there for the equipments, for the accessories and all. So this is the reason for the accidents which happened. So here now you can expect some questions under task 2. It may be sub parts also, like task 2A, B, C, like different questions will be asked. So let us see the first question. So as you said, safety inspection is very important, and in your side there is no safety inspection, right? So your safety committee members, one of the committee members asked you how you can improve the inspections, what all types. So for this question, you can say how often you can conduct various kinds of safety inspections in the site to make sure the accidents are not happened in future. Like you can say the routine safety inspections can be done in all the offices to make sure that the housekeepings, everything is in proper place. The statutory inspection, you can say, as per the legal requirements, you can do for the lifting equipments, for the accessories and all. You can say the periodic inspection of all the plant and machineries in your organization can be done. And you can say the pre-use checks can be carried out by your workers before they start any plant and machineries, to make sure that no accidents happened. Like you can give the example of various incidents which happened in various parts of India, right? There was a boiler explosion, there was a gas leakage in different states in India, right, recently. So you can write that examples, because it will because you are giving these examples to your health and safety committee. So this will put an example, and you can stress, you can strongly say that the pre-use checks are very important before starting a plant and machinery. So this kind of examples, the references will help you a lot. Similarly, if in question they are asking about how often, and if they are particularly asking about the time and all for the inspection, you can say the daily inspection is possible, the weekly inspections, the monthly, the annual, the 6 monthly inspections. Like this, various kinds of inspections, about them you can explain for this question. Now coming to our storyline, one of the safety committee member was not impressed, very much impressed from what you said about the safety inspection. Maybe you can say the contract manager who was involved, he is not very much happy with you for what you said about the health and safety inspections, right? Since from beginning you are pointing out in front of committee that there is no proper safety inspections, so he's not very much happy or pleased with you. So he wanted to know, he raised a question like, what are the roles of health and safety inspection? He wanted to know how can you point out, or how can you stress the role of health and safety inspection in the organization. So here you have to give the points about health and safety, the role of health and safety inspections in the workplace. So considering that scenario, you have to point out the roles. For example, you can say to identify the workplace hazards. If in the scenario they have mentioned what kind of works are going on, you can identify, you can say that with health and safety inspections you can easily identify the workplace hazards before any accidents happen. It will be helpful to implement immediate corrective action whenever it is possible. Similarly, to ensure the compliance with law and the other standards, you can stress if anything happens, not only the company management, whoever is the responsible staff, all the responsible staffs will be sued or will be punished under the legal standards. you can say, to recommend improvements and further controls whenever it is necessary. Also, with regular safety inspections, you can make sure that employees are properly following the safety protocols. They are wearing the personal protective equipments, the permits, everything are in proper place. You can say, with safety inspections, the review of previous findings can be done and the recommendations can be done to prevent any incidents in future. Also, the health and safety inspections will help to provide a summary report in front of health and safety committee, so that they can set a standard and they can improve the health and safety performance. So these all are the few points, but you can write other points also to stress or to make sure that you can justify that there is a big role of health and safety inspection in the company. So now come back to the story. Now you have explained about the role of health and safety inspection to your committee members. Now the next question what they are asking you is, they are looking forward, the committee is really looking forward to implement the safety inspection procedures in your company, but they wanted to know how what are the skills, I mean what are the skills and knowledge which is required for the people, for their employees who do the health and safety inspections in the site, who can assist in health and safety inspections in the site. So you have to explain them about the skills and the knowledge which must be there in the employees. So here you have to explain the knowledge and the relevant skills separately. So for the knowledge, you can say the employee must have knowledge, general knowledge of health and safety, together with the legal requirements and other guidance. Similarly, knowledge of the workplace and the work activities which are carried out with the procedures that have been introduced, such as safe system of work, permits, etc. Knowledge as to whom he should report the results of the inspections. He should know to whom he must report. Then, talking about the skills, you can say the ability to identify the hazards and the risk, right? The second, the observation skills, together with the ability to record and report the observations. Interpersonal skills, like including the ability to interview and question the other employees, and the ability to recognize the limitations. If he have any limitations, he have to recognize that. He have to inform to his other members, and he have to work accordingly. Now in this task question, you can expect they may ask you, like, since you are going to start the safety inspection procedures, so on what all areas you concentrate or you must consider during planning a health and safety inspection in your organization. Basically, this question you have to answer based upon the activities which are there in your organization. What are the activities are going on? You can say, like, it depends, right? I'm just giving you the points, what all points you can say, but you have to write according to the scenario on what industry your company is working. The works are going on in your company, so you can say, like, the areas where you have to do the most of the health and safety inspections are where the hazards are most commonly present. Any hazardous material substances are used in the area. If any traffic routes in and around the area, means of access to and egress from the area of inspection, work equipment and work process which is used in the area need to be inspected. Similarly, electricity and electrical sources, if power sources, the cables, underground cables are there, then it must be inspected. Work equipment, work process. Similarly, the work practices such as manual handling, ergonomics, etc. need to be inspected. Work environment itself, like space, lighting, heating, air movement, ventilation, the confined space, etc. need to be checked. Fire precautions required within the workplace need to be inspected. First aid facilities provided, welfare facilities. Similarly, workstation ergonomics need to be checked. The standards of housekeeping need to be inspected. Similarly, any outstanding action points from previous inspections or from your client, it need to be checked. So the last question for this scenario, your management is overall very much impressed with your performance based on this task which you have answered. Now the last task is like your operation manager had shared his views about the checklist. He asked you about the importance of checklist, like how far it will be effective to implement the checklist in the organization. He want your recommendations, like he wanted to know how the checklist can be helpful in improving the performance. So basically this is a very simple question. The thing is that the operation manager wanted to know how the strength of the checklist, right? He have just asked you for the recommendation. So in the recommendation part, what I will suggest is, you, based on the mark, you have to check how much is the word limit and what is the mark which is the mark or the point which you will get for answering this question. If it is of high mark, like the mark is more than you, I will recommend you to explain about the strength and weakness both, because he have asked you for the recommendation, right? So you have to say about the strength of checklist. So what you will say, the strength of the checklist, you have to say yes, you have to inform him, right? It's a very good idea to implement the checklist, but you have to tell him what will be the strength of the checklist, which can help to improve the health and safety performance. So you can say, like, obviously checklist can enable prior preparation and planning so that an inspection can be more structured and systematic. Second, it reduces the chance of important areas or issues being overlooked. Third, provides an immediate record of findings. Fourth, ensures a consistent approach. Fifth, provides an easy method of comparison and audit. So these are the strengths which you can. Now, as I said, based on the mark you have to see, you can also say about the weakness of the checklist, since he is asking you for the recommendation. So you can say it may lead to blinkered approach, which result in maybe significant risk which may be overlooked, because sometimes we will be neglecting the risk, because you have already something mentioned in the checklist, then you will only look for that hazards, right? So you may overlook, or you may not give care to that risk which is there already in the site. Similarly, may not be reviewed or updated the checklist. Third, you can say become routine with no follow-up questions, because you will be only following up the checklist, you will be not asking any follow-up questions. Too objective and restrictive with little or no scope for peripheral issues, which means you will be limited to that small issues only. For example, if some issue is there, if you are following up the checklist, you will be just seeing the reason for that issue only. I mean, like, you won't be going for the root cause analysis, right? You won't be going to find out what was the root cause for that problem or that incident to be there. You will be just ticking out, I must say. You will be just checking, yeah, this hazard is reported, but you won't be going deep into that problem or deep into the reason for that hazard to be there, or this incident or any incident or accident to be there. So that is what too objective and restrictive. Then the last, procedure is subject to human error, right? The human errors may happen while following the checklist. So this is what you have to tell your manager. So finally, this is the scenario based, a small portion of scenario based question from the element 4 which I have given to you. In the next video, I will come out with the audits. I will make another scenario where we will see the questions from the health and safety audit. Similarly, we will be discussing the scenario based questions on the permit of work, which is a very important topic. Similarly, the emergency procedures, which is very important. Since I have some time issues, so I will also recommend you people who are going to give the exam on this 6th of the August. I will suggest them to check these areas thoroughly. The permit of work is very important. You can definitely expect some questions from this permit of work. The emergency procedures, concentrate on that part. The audits, the audit portion is very important, like the internal audits, external audits is very important. The questions, believe me, the questions will be very simple, because friends, don't worry about the exam. Many of our subscribers and my dear friends have wrote to me on email, like they are very much nervous about the exams, right? Don't be get nervous or very much excited and lose your chance. Be patient, and I'm definitely sure the questions will be very simple. There will be no twist, because since it is the first exam, you will be definitely getting a benefit or the edge, because the NEBOSH doesn't want to lose their credibility, right? So they will make sure that the first exam goes in a smooth way, so and people get an idea of what they will be expecting in the coming exams. So even in the last the NEBOSH sample paper which we have discussed, you found that, right? The questions are very simple and very direct. There is no much twist. Only thing is that you have to understand the scenario and the situations, and based on that you have to write. So best of luck for everyone who is going to write the exam on 6th August. I will try to include other questions also based on the scenario from the element 4th. For all other elements, all the notes, everything, you can find it in our channel. It is already there, and gradually what I will do is I will also start to make scenario based questions for other elements also. It will be useful for our subscribers, our friends, for the future exams. And let us wait for the first exam to know, like, what all other scenarios or the questions they are asking in the exam. So work hard, and best of luck to everyone.